10 minutes of the backwards treadmill. Let's do it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm going to take you inside a week of my life. I've set a goal this week to do 10 minutes of this backwards treadmill a day, and I'm going to show you how I fill these 10 minutes. I'm doing this with the purpose of trying to build up this teardrop muscle, this quadratus lumboris, and I don't really have knee pain, but I have ankle pain, and I think that this method of the backwards walking can bring good blood flow to my ankles and work them to slowly build them up pain-free, without pushing through anything that would hurt or cause damage to ligaments, tendons, bone structures. So I'm just going to walk and talk, but I'm going to talk forwards, not talk backwards. We're about a minute in. To start, I set the resistance very light, almost nothing. Got this knob back here. I can just crank it all the way to loose. And I want to start with baby steps. So I'm measuring my feet almost like half a foot apart. That's all I need. And just to start, one thing I need to mention, I like to put my butt into this back post. If I'm out here, there's a lot of variability in the fulcrum of how this works. There seems to be a lot of moving parts. So I like to really lean into this back post, and then I like to have my hands back on the bars instead of out here. And then what I can do with my arms is, if I want less resistance, I can use my arms to kind of be here. And then the more comfortable that I am in pressing into the treadmill itself, the less I can put pressure on the handles. So I kind of like to pin myself back in, stay to the back, and I'll start just with these half steps. I want no pain. So if I'm starting way back here and there's some type of pull or tweak, or maybe not a pull, but you feel something, just shorten up the stride. And you might even go just big toe to big toe. Closer together is going to be easier than out wide. So closer together in smaller steps, much easier than out wide and very large steps. Obviously, with the larger steps, you're going to get more action and motor neurons and just energy and power into these quads that we're trying to work. But the key here is just to warm up. And so I try to do about 100 steps. I'll count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can get monotonous, but it helps me pass the time, and I'm trying to hit a goal. So after about a couple minutes, I will do a full turn and tighten this up a bit. It will get a little bit harder, but still doable. And there's a bit of resistance in the belt now, not too much, but as I press each foot into the mill, I want to lead with my big toe, lead with big toe, and then I want to finish heel down and toes up. It also helps me get some ankle action in here, as opposed to if I'm keeping feet flat the whole time. I don't know, that just doesn't feel as comfortable. I'm sure it's working something else in a different way, but my focus with each step is to try to lead with the big toe, drive through, and then have the heel leave off and the toes are pointed in the air. So, and then as you get more comfortable, you can increase your step length. This is what I've done. And then I'm also, with my condition, I'm also trying to keep my knees apart. I don't want my knees hitting together. So I'm constantly looking down at the gap between my left leg and my right leg. And do I have a gap there? If I do, good. If the gap closes, I need to think about activating the glutes and kind of staying apart. And I do this barefoot, no socks, no shoes. One, this would probably tear up your socks pretty quickly. Two, I want my feet to feel this pad. I want the sensory neurons in the bottom of my feet to feel everything possible. So yes, this is a flat surface. We're not doing this on stones. We're not doing this on dirt. We're not doing this on grass. But the more my feet can feel and interact with any surface of the earth, the more information my feet can send to my brain, and the better off my feet will be in interacting with the world. So I'm going to crank this up one more time. We're about 5.5 minutes in. We'll see. This has a little more resistance. It's a little bit more of a push. I haven't really gotten to like a jogging pace yet. If I really shorten up my steps here, I can kind of get a little more activity. Some mornings I'll feel some pain or some stretch in the back of the Achilles. And so when I do that, I'll loosen up the belt. I'll keep the steps shorter. But this does get the heart rate up a bit. And the more you tighten this corkscrew, the more it will work you. So I'm not really feeling a bit of work in the quads. Not quite full push, but I guess I'm talking and not really focusing on really driving through. So let me try to flex the quads as I go, really extend that knee, and then there's constant thought. This isn't second nature for me yet, of driving heel into the middle, pointing toes up, leading with the big toe, and not just doing this flat-footed, but letting the toes take the lead with each step. And then the more comfortable I am, the more I try to flex my hamstring, pull my heels back, and get farther back into the belt. And then I don't really do much variation. I'm not going to the side. I haven't really found a rhythm with that yet. I'll crank this up one more time, and that'll probably finish this out. If 10 minutes is too much for you, you can do 5 minutes, start with 5 minutes, or you can count steps. Maybe you do 200 total steps or 500 total steps, whatever works for you. And you can build this up over time. I would encourage you to try this every day. Every day generally requires steps anyways. So I feel like any deposits that I can put in with backwards steps is going to pay me dividends in going forward for whatever that day has in store. So yeah, this is a bit more difficult now, much more difficult than when we started. Takes a little bit more focus, and the quads are really starting to work. The feet feel okay. There's a little tightness in the right Achilles. But I find if I can spread the toes out wide and point the toes up, that tends to go away. Let's see if I haven't really found a good rhythm to do this, but try to get more steps in. If you just go at a walking pace, there's only so many steps that you can get in. So if you really wanted to crank this up and work the heart, you'd have to find a way. It's probably easier for you, it's harder for me. You'd have to find a way to get more of a trot in here. And you could probably do longer strides than I could. But by and large, you want to start small. Don't do any of this in pain. Easier belts, easier tension is obviously easier to do. Use your arms to lift or not lift. I can't really do this without holding on. I'll fall off. Even one arm's kind of tough. And you want to be careful not to get too far out here. I guess this could be a different variation. But again, I like my butt up against this pad. So that's about 10 minutes. I've talked pretty much the whole time, but I got this backwards treadmill. I really like it. I try to use it as much as I can, and I've been doing it 10 minutes every day all this week. So thank you for watching and following along. I'll see you guys in the next video.